Welcome back to Ravens Today. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. OTAs this week, let's get into it, okay? So, what I've been hearing up first is that David Ajabo's time as a Raven might be coming to an end, and this will be decided by his performance in OTAs. It's inevitable at this point. David Ajabo hasn't produced what the Ravens wanted from him. You know, he's been injured, and when he's playing, he isn't playing to his full potential. So I know that injuries do happen, and it's horrible to see from a player that was so well liked by the organization that wanted him to succeed in the organization, and really was like very taught out for in the draft. You know, had a great career at Michigan, but it looks like his time as a Raven might be coming to an end, especially after OTAs. Again, this all depends on how he performs, but this seems like this is a real possibility now. You know, he probably won't make that 50-man roster because he just doesn't. He just can't produce what he was like in college. It's a real shame, but we must move on and find the best players that can be on this team and, you know, make the cuts that are necessary. Moving on, the Adewale Ogunleye debate is, will the Ravens extend Adewale, especially after this season, because he is a free agent post this season. While he has had great development, the Ravens can kind of, you know, see what cards they can deal with in terms of a contract. I want to extend Adewale. I think that he's had, you know, a great development. Not great in the sense that like he was out of the gate great, but great because he's been building up, he's been learning, he's been adapting, not as fast as we want him to be, but he's adapting well. I think that he can be an elite pass rusher later on in his career. He's still 26 years old. He's still very young, and watching him improve is a good sign of the things that we can see out of him if we do extend him. You know, he had last season 10 sacks, which was a career high for him. So we're seeing great things from him. I would see this happening sometime after the season, you know, trying to get him, like, you know, to not like a mega deal, but a deal that's worthy for of him, and shows what level of commitment the Ravens are in him. You know, like I've said earlier, Lamar Jackson is priority number one when it comes to contract extensions, but you know, if we can, you know, make it easy and sign Owe, and the negotiation is pretty straightforward and pretty easy, like, let's do that instead. It's pretty. I want to see it happen. I think that again, like I just said earlier, always development has gone pretty well. It's been pretty slow, but it's been pretty well. So let's just keep investing in him, see how he goes, and see how he does later on in his career as he gets more experience under the Ravens organization. Also, moving on, there is going to be a left guard competition in OTAs. You got guys like Andrew Voorhees, who John Harbaugh has said will be the starter at the beginning of the regular season, but he is injury prone. You know, he had that injury during the combine a couple of years ago that sidelined him for the whole season of his rookie year, and then last season, you know, was injured week 3 and didn't really come back after that. You know, he had Patrick McCary taking over that position at swing tackle for him. So, you know, it might be a little bit of competition to see, you know, who could stand out a little bit more, and, you know, someone could overlap him at the end of the season. And John Harbaugh's, you know, reasoning behind that is this player played better. This player had greater sparks of potential during OTAs than Voorhees did, and he rightfully earned the spot. So there's, you know, you got Ben Cleveland, who the Ravens just re-signed. I know that Ben Cleveland did have a DUI arrest not too long ago, so that'll probably put him in the doghouse a little bit, because the Ravens do not tolerate that type of stuff. But again, we'll see how this goes. Ben Cleveland could shine. He could finally have that breakthrough moment instead of, you know, just playing on special teams and being a backup. But we'll see. you have Carson Vincent, the rookie, you have Emory Jones, the rookie, and you have Garrett Dellinger, the rookie. All of these guys have the potential to overlap Voorhees in the starting job position. It could happen. Someone could have better chemistry with the offensive line, uh, better, you know, fluidity when it comes to pass and blocking and opening up rush lanes. So I guess we'll see. Uh, it's going to be a position that's going to be very, very crowded and very competitive. I personally don't know if Andrew Voorhees is going to be the starter at the end of OTAs. I'm not really convinced yet, but again, he's had time to recover from his injuries, so I guess we'll have to wait and see how he does during OTAs and well into the preseason. But again, we just have to find out and see where his knee is at. Lastly, speaking of position battles, we got a lot. Bear with me here. We got a third running back in the backfield battle between Keaton Mitchell and Rasheen Ali. Keaton Mitchell is going to be the third running back, but Ali could have some great development happen during OTAs where he overtakes Mitchell. I think Mitchell's going to take it. Mitchell's going to come out of the gates full steam ahead, full speed. Like I've said in the previous video, he had mentioned that he is back 100% healthy, 100% at full speed. Mitchell's going to take this unless something happens where Ali just happens to make go for broke and impress the coaching staff enough to get that third running back position, but it's going to be Keaton Mitchell. There's the inside linebacker position battle between Trenton Simpson, who John Harbaugh did say would be the starter at the beginning of the regular season, but you have guys like Mike Green could have a place there, and Trenton Simpson hasn't been really consistent, especially in pass coverage. So again, there are still some miscues that he's had on defense that have caused him to be on the bench a little bit. Malik Harrison has taken over for that, but Malik Harrison went to the free agency. There's Jacob Hummel and Teddy Buchanan, both guys who want to make that roster spot and take over Simpson's starting position. So again, this is going to be an interesting matchup here and see who qualifies the most to be the starter week one. Again, John Harbaugh did say that Simpson is going to be the week one starter, but that is just based off of before OTAs. That is before even the draft started. So we could see players just absolutely break out and shine in OTAs and really, prove themselves to the coaching staff and overtake a player that was slated to be the starter and take their place. Could be Teddy Buchanan. I don't know. I've mentioned Teddy Buchanan before. He's a phenomenal player. Could be a great developmental player for Zach Orr's defense, but we'll have to see. Also, we got a kicker battle, which is a little bit interesting, but considering Justin Tucker's departure from the Ravens organization, the Ravens have to find the best next man up, for that legendary position. You got Loop, who they drafted, and Hoyland, who went undrafted to the Ravens, and there will be a kind of a kicker battle between them. I think Loop's going to take it. I think that they're just kind of trying out Hoyland to see if he can somehow produce better than Loop. But I think Loop's going to be the Ravens kicker moving forward, and really there's just going to be no competition between the two. I just think Loop is going to be the guy that the Ravens go with that will be taking over the crown that was Justin Tucker's. Lastly, a third edge position. There will be a battle between David Ajabo, like I've said earlier in the video, Tavius Robinson, and rookie Mike Green. I think Mike Green is going to be the one that's groomed the most to take over that edge position. But, you have Tavius Robinson in there, who had sparks of greatness last season, and you have Ajabo. I mean, these guys could all shine in OTAs, prove to the coaching staff that they are the guy that they need and the guy that will shine the most come the week one of the regular season. But I think Green's going to be the guy, pending, his investigation and everything with the allegations. But I think Mike Green is going to be the third edge rusher that the Ravens have wanted and needed uh, for a while now to replace David Ajabo. And I'm really looking forward to that battle right there. Thank you for tuning in to Ravens Today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda. Again, please make sure to subscribe, like the video. I will keep you posted on any and all things Ravens. Have a good one, everyone.